Hey guys, I am re-discussing a topic that we had discussed before, but for whatever reason, the audio was terrible. And I think it was a discussion, I know it was a discussion that was worth me coming on and re-discussing, re-recording, because it's something that I would recommend that you keep in mind as you're building your business. And that is the topic of expectations for ourselves. I think especially when we are first getting started at something, and it's something that we really, really care about. The expectations we have for ourselves can sometimes not necessarily match the reality of how things may go. You know, our expectation is that we're going to learn things super quickly, and we're going to implement things super quickly, and we're going to see success super quickly. And don't get me wrong, there will be topics that you master right away, and there will be activities that you start that you have no problem with starting and doing it and accomplishing it. And there will be some times when you're like, wow, I can't believe how easy that was or how quickly that happened. Absolutely. But there also, just to set expectations, there will be times where that doesn't happen, where things are moving slower, where there are certain concepts that it takes you a little bit longer to master than perhaps you would like, where things don't happen as quickly as you want to. And I want to talk about setting expectations, because if your expectation is fast and immediate and instant success, you're going to disappoint yourself. And that feeling of disappointment in yourself can be very dangerous, because that's the feeling that tempts us to give up on things, and tempts us to give up on things that could be so, so valuable. I mean, you guys know how much I care about copywriting. I've been doing it for almost 20 years. I love the career. I started a course to teach other people how to do it. So clearly I care about this. But at the same time, there are going to be challenges to it. There are going to be times when things won't move as quickly as you want them to move. And so what I wanted to talk about is that concept of having high standards for yourself, but not necessarily high expectations. Having high standards means you make commitments and you stick to those commitments. It means you tell yourself that, it means you schedule things and you do the things that are on your schedule. It means that when you have a task and you know that it's going to push you maybe outside of your comfort zone, it makes you a little uncomfortable, it makes you a little bit nervous, that you say, okay, I feel these feelings, but I know this is important and why it's important and why this whole thing is important to me, and I'm going to do it anyway. That's having high standards, and that is essential to your success. Having high standards and holding yourself to those high standards, not unrealistic standards, not doing 30 hours worth of work in 5 hours, not unrealistic standards, but having high standards where you meet all of your commitments. That is essential. But having high expectations is a totally different thing, because often those high expectations are not based in reality. They're based in things you hope for, or they're based in, I saw that someone in the group sent through a pitch, and they sent through their first 5 pitches and they got 5 clients out of that. Well, that's not going to be the case for everyone. And if your expectation is someone in the group just said that they had their first $10,000 month, so I'm expecting to have my first $10,000 month. Okay, but if that person in the group has been doing it has been working as a copywriter for 6 months or 7 months or 8 months, and you are just getting started, it's not realistic for that to be your expectation. And if you make that your expectation and you don't reach that, you're going to disappoint yourself. So there's also a difference. So there's a difference between standards and expectations, and there's a difference between I don't want to say goals, because it's not really a goal, but goals to reach for, I guess, and expectations. You know, you can say, all right, this is what I'm going to try to hit this month. But, you know, we always say, like, okay, if your goal is to hit a $10,000 month, that's awesome, totally reasonable goal. If you only hit 9,500, are you gonna go, oh no, I'm the worst person ever, I failed miserably? Like, no, of course not, right? You made $9,500 in a single month. That's amazing. So it's worth reaching for goals, but just be careful that those goals don't become expectations. And if you can't reach those expectations, that you're going to let it then reflect on you or on your journey or anything like that. It's totally reasonable to have goals, and you should have goals, right? And it's totally reasonable to want, you should want certain things out of your career, and you should have high aims for yourself. But aiming high is different from having high expectations. If you're going to have high anything, I would say have high standards for your level, for yourself, for your level of commitment, for your level of professionalism, for your level of commitment to yourself and your own personal growth. Because when you have high standards for yourself, that's what's going to help you get to your goals and help you reach the things that you're dreaming of. Having high expectations that aren't based in reality, as let's face it, often expectations aren't. Having high expectations for yourself may set yourself up for disappointment. It takes time to start a new career. It takes time to learn something new, and embrace that. Embrace the fact that this is a whole shift in your career, maybe potentially a whole shift in your life. So yes, you may see some things happen much quicker than I was going to say expecting, but you may see some things come through quickly. You may see some things come through slowly, but going into things with expectations puts a weight on all of that it doesn't, puts a judgment on all of that. This puts a judgment on the speed that's just totally unnecessary. Is it a good thing that it's fast? It's a bad thing that it's slow. That doesn't make any sense. You are on your own journey, and putting expectations on your journey is only going to add an extra level of weight that is totally unnecessary. You're already working hard and learning something new, but adding expectations to it is like taking a trek with a backpack and then throwing 60 big stones in it. It's not necessary, and it's just going to make your journey really uncomfortable. So be careful about expectations for yourself. Be careful about comparison. Be careful about anything that makes you feel like you are less than, or you're not measuring up somehow, because that is a really good sign that that's not a valid judgment. That's your resistance popping up, trying to get you to stay small, trying to get you to stay in your comfort zone. When, as we know, everything that we want, everything that's worthwhile in life is outside of your comfort zone. So be very, very careful about expectations for yourself and comparisons as well. Instead, I would hold yourself to a high standard in terms of your professionalism, in terms of your conduct, in terms of your commitment to yourself and commitment to this new journey. That is where I would put my focus if I were you. My little recommendation for you.